Hello class, today I shall be taking tenses for class 10. Tenses is a very important unit in grammar for your class. It develops both the speaking and writing skills. So now, before we go to the tenses, let's see to the verbs. Because verbs are very much needed for you to form your tenses. So now what's a verb? Verb means ash. What's this ash? A stands for action words. S stands for the verbs or which indicate state of being. And H stands for the verbs to have. So state of being verbs are am, is, was, were, then been. And then to have forms are have, has, and had. Further, verbs are divided into two sections, finite verb and non-finite verb. Now what's a finite and non-finite verb? A finite verb has a subject and it has a tense, whereas a non-finite verb has no subject and no tense. Now what's a subject? As you all know, subject is a part of a sentence and it is placed before a verb. It's a noun or a pronoun. So now let's see in the example. While swimming, he broke his tooth. Now here we have got in this sentence two verbs. So among these two verbs, let us see which one is a finite and which one is a non-finite. So now let's take up the first verb, that is swimming. Now before swimming, you have got the word while. So is while a noun or a pronoun? No, it's neither a noun nor a pronoun. So it can't be a subject. Then let's see about the tenses. You may be feeling, ma'am, it's swimming, it's a tense, it's in ing form. But it hasn't got a to be form verb there before it. So we can neither say it is in present continuous form, nor past continuous form, nor future continuous form. So it has no tense. So a verb which has no subject and no tense is called a non-finite. So let's come to the second verb. What's the second word? Broke. As you see before broke, you have got the pronoun he. So he is a subject. And then broke is also in V2 form. It is in simple past. So broke here is a finite verb. So after having understood this, let's move on to the verb forms. Now we have got four verb forms here, that is present, past, past participle and present participle. Now for present we call it as V1, for past we say V2, for past participle we say V3 and for present participle we say verb plus ing. So here now, for example, I have taken the word play. For this verb, we have added yes in bracket. So when I am using third person singular, I say he plays. For first person singular, I say I play, we play. So he plays, she plays. So that's how we use V1 form. Then we have got the V2, that is played. Coincidentally, V3 is also played, and ing form, that is present participle form, is playing. So also it follows for the other examples like drive, eat, then go and cut. Now let's come to tense. Tense comes from Latin word tempus, which means time. So what's tense? Tense means time. Now when you talk about time, you talk about yesterday, today and tomorrow. So we talk about three times. So like that, in tenses also we have three tenses. One is present, past and future. Now for these three times we have got four aspects. One is simple, second one is perfect, third one is continuous or we call it as progressive, and the fourth one is perfect continuous. Now the simple states an action. The perfect aspect states action completed. For the continuous or progressive aspect, the action is going on. And for the perfect continuous, the action has started earlier but going on. So that's how we use it. Now quickly let's take a look at this chart. So to make the simple present, we use the aspect, simple aspect with the time present, and we make it as simple present. So for the second aspect, continuous, we don't say continuous present, we say present continuous. For the third, we say present perfect, and the fourth, present perfect continuous. So it follows the same for the other two tenses: simple past, past continuous, past perfect continuous, future. For future, we have got simple future, future continuous, future perfect continuous. So in all, you see we have got how many tenses? 12 tenses. So you're going to study them one by one now. Now first let's take up simple present. So for the different types of sentences, we have got a set structure or a form for simple present. So for affirmative sentences, we say subject plus V1 plus object. Now here I have put it as I, we, you, they plus V1 plus object, because for third person singular we use V1 plus yes or es plus object. For example, you say I write a letter, he writes a letter, or she writes a letter. So for negative, you have got I, we, you, they plus do not plus V1 plus object. And for third person singular, he, she, it plus does not plus V1 plus object. I do not write a letter. She does not write a letter. So that's how you're going to make use it in negative form. Now coming to the interrogative sentences. For interrogative sentences, you use or you begin with do or does plus subject plus V1 plus object. Do I write a letter? Does she write a letter? Now when it comes to WH family, that is a question made with WH, beginning with WH. What, when, where, why. When you use these questions, you say, why do I write a letter? When do I write a letter? When does she write a letter? So this is how you're going to make use of simple present. Now let's come to the usage. Simple present is used to express things happening in the present, the things which are happening in the present. She teaches in a private school. I teach in Navodaya, or I teach in Jawahar Navodaya. You study in Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya. So this is how you're going to make use of the simple present to express things happening in the present. The second use is, it is used to express a habitual action, an action which has become habit for you, a habit for you. You do it every day. You have done it yesterday, you do it today, and you'll be doing it tomorrow. So that's an habitual action. I wake up at 5 daily. I drink milk every morning. So this is an habitual action there. Next, the third one is, it is used to express a universal truth or a universal fact which you can't change it. The sun rises in the east. Another example, the earth is round in shape. So this is how you use it for universal truth. Now you just see this slide over here. You can easily understand the simple present. I drink milk every morning. So you have got here in this figure the three forms: past, that is now, that is present, and then future. So the action is in the past, it is now, and it is in the future. So that is a habitual action. So let's go for the next use. It is used to express subordinate clause if the principal clause is the simple future. When you are having if conditional clauses, that time the if conditional clause is going to be in simple present if the principal clause, the main clause, is the simple future. For example, if she prepares well, she will score good marks. The next use is it is used in commentaries while a match is going on, while some game is going on. The commentary is given, live commentary. So when the live commentary is given, you use simple present. Say for example, a football match is going on and you say Martin passes the ball, kicks it, it's a goal. So this is how you make use of simple present. So now let's go for the key words which are used for simple present. Words like always, often, usually, regularly, every day, rarely, scarcely, once. So these are the words which you daily, weekly, which will be used for expressing your simple present. So now let's come on to the second tense, that is present continuous tense. Present continuous tense is also called as present progressive tense. So the form for affirmative sentences, subject plus is or am or are plus verb in ing form plus object. I am reading English. So he is reading English. They are reading English. So that's how you are going to make use of the verbs there. So for negative, it will be subject plus is or am or are plus not plus verb in ing plus object. So it will be I am not reading English. He is not reading English. So that's how you're going to make use of present continuous in negative form. And for interrogative, you begin it with is or am or are plus subject plus verb in ing plus object. You say, am I reading English? Is he reading English? When you start with WH question, you say, what is he reading? What am I doing? What am I reading? So this is how you're going to ask the questions for present continuous. Now let's see the uses. The present continuous or the present progressive tense is used to indicate an action that is taking place at the moment of speaking. Now for example, I am teaching grammar. So now what am I doing? I am teaching. So I am teaching grammar, the action which is going on at the moment. And next, it is used to express an activity happening around but not necessarily at that moment. The action is taking place but not at that very moment. For example, Ganesh is studying very hard for his exams these days. So he is studying very hard, but the action is not at the moment, but these days it is going on around over there. And the third use is, it is used to express activities happening in the near future, especially a planned future event. So, for example, you got here, I am attending the meeting. I am going to the village. So, it's a planned event. So, when you have got a planned event, then you are going to use present continuous tense. So, you can see here in this slide, I am teaching grammar now. So, you have got the past, you have got the future, but the arrow is in the center. That means the action is taking place now. So, you can find it out over there. Now, the next question is, do all verbs have continuous or progressive form? No. Verbs referring to mental states like know, love, want, desire, they don't have continuous or progressive form. And the senses words like smell, taste, see, they also don't have continuous or progressive form. For example, I am respecting you. It's an incorrect sentence. So what's the correct sentence? I respect you. This is how you have to use it. My son loves to draw and paint. Don't say, my son is loving to draw and paint. That would be an incorrect sentence. I smell something burning. So this is how we use it. Now the key words which are used for your present continuous or the progressive tense are now, right now, at the moment, this week, so on. So the third tense, that is present perfect. So the forms for present perfect are subject plus have or has plus V3 plus object. For negative, it is subject plus have or has plus not plus V3 plus object. For interrogative, it is have or has plus subject plus V3 plus object. So here again, has is used for third person singular. She has written the notes. I have written the notes. So this is how you are going to make use of have or has for present perfect tense. So let's see the uses. Present perfect is used to express an action recently completed. Usually it is used with just. Now you are at the station. Someone will ask you, has the train arrived? You say, yes, the train has just arrived. So the action which has recently completed, for that we use present perfect. It is also used to describe a past action which is important for its effect in the present and not in itself. An action which has happened in the past but its effect is for the present. So I have stopped smoking. So these days I don't smoke. So I have stopped. In the past that action has taken place but its effect is now. So we use present perfect over here. Now you can see in this slide, I have finished my homework. So you have started in the past and it is completed just now. So for that we use present perfect. So let's move on to the words which are used for present perfect tense. You use it, so far, ever, already, since, just now. So now the fourth tense, that is present perfect continuous. The form for affirmative sentences subject plus have or has plus been plus verb in ing form plus object. And for negative sentences, it is subject plus have or has plus not plus been plus verb in ing plus object. For interrogative form, it is going to be have or has plus subject plus been plus verb in ing plus object. So let's see its uses. It is used to express an action that began in the past and has been in progress till the time of speaking. You have started an action in the past and it is continued till the time of speaking. For example, I have been teaching since 9 a.m. Since 9 a.m. in the morning, I have been teaching, and now the time is say 12 o'clock. So I have been teaching since 9 o'clock and still the action is continued over there. You can understand over here, the action has started in the past and it has been still continued there at the time of speaking. So this is how we use present perfect continuous. It's also used to express an action that finished just a short while ago. For an action that is completed just before over there. So Sagar has been watching TV for 2 hours. It is started in the past and it has been just finished a short while ago. So for that also we use present perfect continuous tense. So now the words which we are going to use for this present perfect continuous are since or for. Since suggests the point of time, the year or the time, particular. For suggests for a period of time, for 2 hours, for 10 days, for 3 days, like that you can use it over there. So now we have done with the 4 tenses, that is simple present, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. Now let's move on to the second time, that is the past. So now to begin with, we have got simple past. So the form for simple past is subject plus V2 plus object. And for negative, it is subject plus did not plus V1 plus object. Just pay attention here. It is subject plus did not plus V1 plus object. In affirmative, we are using V2, whereas here in negative, we are using the helping verb did not, and then for the verb, we are using V1 form. And for interrogative also we use did plus subject plus V1 plus object. And for WH family also it will be WH family plus did plus subject plus V1 plus object. So this is how we are going to use it. Just I'll give you an example. I wrote a letter. So for the negative sentence you say I did not write a letter. I did not write a letter. So remember this. Did I write a letter? Did you write a letter when you are coming for the question? For WH question, why did you write a letter? When did you write a letter? This is how you are going to ask for the questions. Now let's see the uses of simple past. It is used to express an action that was completed at a definite point in the past. The action has taken place in the past. So for the action which is completed in the past at a definite point of time, that we are going to specify over here in simple past. For example, yesterday she visited her uncle. So that's how we are going to write it. Yesterday I completed my revision. Today you got your exams. So yesterday I completed my revision. So that's how we are going to make use of simple past. And it's also used to express a past habit or routine. For example, he used to eat with his left hand when he was young, but not now. It is in the past. I used to dance when I was young, but not now. So now with this slide you can understand here. I drank coffee yesterday. So the action has taken place yesterday. It is there. The action has taken place in the past itself. It is not moving further. So at a particular time it is over there. So you will find the past simple used with time expressions such as this: yesterday, 3 weeks, last year, in 2002, or from a long time. Like this you will be getting these words. Now this is very important for you, because in your class 10 exam you either get error correction or you get gap filling. There you get confused as to which tense it is, how it is. So if you find these words, it is a clue for you to understand that it is simple past tense. So remember these words. These are very important for your class. So now let's go for the next tense, that is past continuous. Now the form for past continuous is affirmative sentences. We have got subject plus verb or verb plus ing plus object. For negative sentences it is subject plus was or were not plus verb in ing plus object. And for interrogative sentences we have got was or were plus subject plus verb in ing plus object. So now let's move on to the uses of past continuous or past progressive. It is used to express an action in progress before the moment of speaking. Now you are speaking something. So the action which was in progress earlier, you are referring to that action. So that action you are going to use in past continuous tense. So say around 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock in the morning, you want to tell the action which has taken place in the morning at 6 o'clock. So it was pouring heavily at 6 o'clock this morning. So what's the tense you're going to make use here? It is past continuous or past progressive. It's also used to express when two actions were going on simultaneously in the past. Simultaneously means at the same time in the past. For example, when I was playing, my sister was studying. So the two actions are taking place at the same time. Now here another example you got. I was drinking coffee when I got a phone call. So now the past action. Here, at the time of speaking, when you got a phone call, what's the action you were doing? Drinking coffee. So I was drinking coffee. So to tell the action like this, we use past continuous tense. Now let's go to the third form of past. That is the third tense. Past perfect tense. So the form for affirmative sentence is subject plus had plus V3 plus object. For negative sentences, it is subject plus had plus not plus V3 plus object. And when you are framing interrogative sentence, you begin with had plus subject plus V3 plus object. For WH question, you have WH plus subject plus had plus V3 plus object. So this is the form you are going to use for past perfect. Now this past perfect tense is very important for your class. Again, you are tested in this tense also. So it is used to describe an action which was completed just before or sometime before the second action in the past. Now in simple words to say, there are two actions which you have completed in the past. For the first action which you have completed, you are going to make use of past perfect tense. And then the simple past. So you just see here, he had done his duty before the next shift started. So the two actions are done. Here you have got doing the duty and the next shift starting there. So the action which is done first is done his duty before the next shift started. So this is how we are going to make use of past perfect. With another example, you can just see here. My mother had cooked before I woke up. Again, you have got two actions here. One action has been completed. You woke up later, and what your mother has done before that? She has cooked. So two actions you can find there, one with the yellow mark and one with the green mark. So the action which is completed first, that is the yellow mark, you can say my mother had cooked, and then the next action over there. So both the actions take place in the past. Now the next tense of simple past, that is past perfect continuous. The forms for past perfect continuous are affirmative sentences. For affirmative sentences, you use subject plus had plus been plus verb in ing plus object. And for negative sentences, you have got subject plus had plus not plus been plus verb in ing plus object. For interrogative, you have got had plus subject plus been plus verb in ing plus object. So let's see the uses. Past perfect continuous tense is used to express an action that was finished at some definite time in the past, but which had been going on before it was finished or had recently finished. Okay, it was going on at a definite time in the past, but which had been going on before it was finished or had recently finished. So example you have got here. Suresh had been working in this bank since he came to Dharwad. So that's how we make use of past continuous tense. So we have done with the past tense, that is four tenses: simple past, past continuous, past perfect and past perfect continuous. So now let's move on to the next tense, that is future. So the first one is simple future. Now the forms for simple future are, for affirmative sentences, subject plus shall or will plus V1 plus object. For negative sentences, it's going to be he or she or it, that is subject. You can use any subject there, plus shall or will plus not plus V1 plus object. And for interrogative, it is going to be shall or will plus subject plus V1 plus object. And same for WH family. WH family plus shall or will plus subject plus V1 plus object. Now here shall is used along with first person singular or plural. I shall take the class tomorrow. I shall conduct a test. So he will take a test. So this is how you are going to use for simple future, that is shall or will. Shall is used along with first person singular and plural when you want to talk about simple future. Now let's see to the Usage of simple future. Simple future is used to describe an action that will take place in the future. So I shall see you shortly. He will win the match. It's also used to express announcements of future plans and weather forecast. Any announcements to be made? That's what I told you. I shall take the test tomorrow. The teacher comes and announces in the class. So that's how for announcements you're going to use. For weather forecast you're going to use. The flood water will continue to recede now. So you're going to make use of simple future. The words often used along with simple future are tomorrow or next over there. Now let's go on to the next tense, that is future continuous. And the forms for future continuous in affirmative sentence will be subject plus shall or will plus be plus verb in ing plus object. For the negative, you are going to use subject plus shall or will plus be plus not plus verb in ing plus object. And for interrogative sentences, you have shall or will plus subject plus be plus verb in ing plus object. Now let's go for the uses. Future continuous tense is used with the point of time. It expresses an action that will be going on at the time of speaking. I shall be giving a lecture on Google Meet tomorrow. So that's how we are going to make use of future continuous tense. Now the next tense is future perfect. And the forms for affirmative sentences subject plus shall or will plus have plus V3 plus object. And for negative sentence it is subject plus shall or will plus not plus have plus V3 plus object. And for interrogative sentences it will be shall or will plus subject plus have plus V3 plus object. So let's see the uses. Now future perfect is used to express an action that will have been completed in the future by a certain time. So by tomorrow I shall have bought the new mobile. Now these days all of you are having online classes, so you need to have a mobile for yourself. So you will tell your friend, by tomorrow at this time I shall have bought the new mobile. So that's how future perfect is used. Now coming to the last tense, that is the 12th tense, it is future perfect continuous. The forms for future perfect continuous are, for affirmative sentence you got subject plus shall or will plus have been plus verb in ing plus object. For negative sentences it is subject plus shall or will plus not plus have been plus verb in ing plus object. And for interrogative it is will or shall plus subject plus have been plus verb in ing and object. So let us see how is it used. It is used to denote an action that will be finished at some definite time in the future. In the future you are going to make use of that action over there, but which had been going on before it was finished. So you will say, for example, he will have been celebrating his birthday tomorrow this time. So that's how future perfect continuous is used. So we have done with all the 12 tenses. So let me go through it once again. So we have got 3 tenses, that is present, past and future. Then for present we have 4 forms, that is simple present, present continuous, present perfect and present perfect continuous. For past it is simple past, past continuous, then past perfect, and the next one is past perfect continuous. So next it is future tense, simple future, future continuous, future perfect and future perfect continuous. So here you have got a chart where you have got tenses in a nutshell. So here you have got the verb, that is tenses, and then you have got the 3 types of sentences there: affirmative, negative, interrogative. I hope you have understood these tenses. Thank you, one and all.